Hi everyone, this is Hao Zhang, and this video is about how to install an Ubuntu DomU in RT-Xen. First, we're gonna make a physical volume in order to contain our DomU, because we're creating a logic volume based DomU. So I use DD to create a new file with all zeros, and the output device is my disk1, which is a file name, and block size equals to 1024 megabytes, and the count is equals to let's say 16. Actually, you can set larger here as long as you have enough disk space. It took me a while because I don't have a SSD. If you have a SSD, it will take much less time to create a empty file. So here it's done. Okay, the next step is let's check the attribute of the file, which is pure data, because we didn't set up anything. We used loopback setup to bound the loop1 device with my disk1, and now we use pv create to create a physical volume on loopback1, which is successfully created. Now we view the attribute. It will say this is the LVM2 physical volume. So then we create a volume group on this. We use size 8192, and the name we assign it to my volume group 1, and the device should be loop 1. Okay, so the volume group is successfully created. Now we are using LV create to create a logical volume, which is the actual container of our DomU. We use -L 8129 and -N for the name of the logical volume. So now it's created. We can verify it by look into the my volume group 1, and we can see that my LV1 is actually there. So the next step is to install an Ubuntu on this my LV1. Actually, there is a variety of ways of doing this, but I prefer to use the Ubuntu netboot installer to install a new Ubuntu as the DomU, because it's an easier way. But remember, in this way you will need an internet access in the full process. So, and for you who using a wireless connection, I suggest you to switch it to Ethernet cable, because a wireless connection won't work. At least it won't work on my computer. So we're downloading the installer VM Linux and the installer initial RAM, and after all these two downloads, we have all the files needed to install our Ubuntu DomU. So now we created a Xen config file for our virtual machine. Here is my configure file with kernel VM Linux, the RAM disk, init RAM disk. We just download it, and now we create it. Use -C as console. We didn't set up the bridge, so we should set up bridge first. We use brctl add br Xen br0 and add if Xen br0 and eth0, ethernet 0, and we start the bridge. IP link set the dv Xen br0 up. Okay, now the bridge is up. Now we create it again. So it's successfully booted, and we are entering the installer. We choose English as our language and United States as our country. And now the installer is trying to figure out the network configuration of your computer. And I'm using DHCP, so I just let him automatically figure out. So here, we choose a host name. I use the default Ubuntu. And we choose a mirror country, which is United States. We're using this mirror. And we don't have HTTP proxy, so I choose continue. Now it enters to a long waiting part, which is installing all the softwares. Oh, so here it asks you to set up users and passwords. So I just enter the full name, tester. Yeah, that's just a makeup name. And we proceed. The username is test, and the password I set it, and continue. I re-enter it and continue. So now we're done setting up the users and passwords. And we choose not to encrypt our home directory, and the time zone is correct. Remember that these may take a long while because it's in a virtual machine. Okay, so here it asks you to partition disks. I suggest you to use the guided use full disks, and we proceed to next steps. And we hit yes to write the changes to disks. So this may take like an hour or two, so I just cut it short, and you guys may have to wait for a while. So now it's configuring the Discover, so I choose no automatic update, and this installing may take, it may take hours. So if you're experiencing long waiting time, is totally common. It's totally acceptable. So don't worry about that. I myself waited for 2 hours. So let's say it's just a time-consuming procedure. Yeah. Now it asks you to select the software, and I choose Ubuntu Desktop, and I hit tab to continue. So now it's installing a grub. I choose yes, and now it's finishing the installation finally. I choose yes to set the UTC, and the installation is complete. Now the DomU is automatically shut down. Then all we want to do is to boot it again with the default bootloader. We change the bootloader in the Ubuntu.cfg to pygrub, and we add a vCPU number equals to 4 in order to get a better performance. And we comment out these 2 lines, these 3 lines, because we no longer need them. They are installers. Now we create the DomU again using xm create -c as console and Ubuntu.cfg. Now it's booting up properly and booting into Linux 3.2.0 generic. All the booting informations here. And we are about to finish our boot. Okay, now we just enter the username we just set and password we just set before, and we are now accessing our system properly. Okay, so this is actually a Ubuntu system, but it's running on Xen hypervisor, so That's it. Thank you for watching.